welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I posted something here, and that's because number one, I went back to work, and so I've been working. I've been having different kinds of shifts, which means I get home late sometimes and I don't even have time to film or record anything or even edit for that matter. But all has been well, and finally, at least we're back to work. But on the other hand, the other reason I have not been able to film is because I have been having some issues with my throat. I think I told you guys about this some times back, that I am suffering from throat pain. And I keep feeling, I don't even know what to call it, like I have this irritation that never goes away and this continuous pain that also never goes away. And this pain started slightly before March, so it was like towards the end of February, and I felt it like I would feel pain when talking or even singing. You know, guys, how I love to sing. So I kind of like hesitated from like doing such activities that strain my voice and stuff. But I still, of course, talk and laugh and have cold drinks. Excuse me. So I've been suffering this for a long time, and me being me, I usually don't like the hospital. I mean, the hospital for me is like last resort. In all honesty, I would rather use some home remedy or just like keep warm with something that can go away with warmth than go to the hospital. First and foremost, fear of needles. I am not fond of needles. I'm not fond of anything being done on my body. Maybe because I already went through a lot of that when I was, like not when I was growing up, but after after I got like pregnant with my first daughter, I started having so many complications. So there was always like injections and being in hospital. That was like the worst time of my life. So I fear hospitals. Well, I don't like to go to hospitals. I mean, some people don't mind. They don't have that phobia of being pricked and stuff. I don't. Okay, if it has to be done, okay, fine, I'll take it. But if I can stay away from it, if I can avoid it, if I can get a tablet instead of the injection, the better it is. I have been prescribing even antibiotics for myself. Like I would go to Google, type in throat pain with some fiery feeling, like Google gives you everything. It'll be like, that's ulcers, or like you have ulcers in your throat. Okay, so what's the medicine for this? This and this. I'll go down to the pharmacy and purchase the medicine, decide I'm going to be doing one times whatever, one tablet in the morning, lunch, and evening. And I did this for 1 month, I think 1.5 months actually. And then in May, I started going to the hospital because I was like, okay, this is too much now. It's not going away. It's not what I thought it was. So I went to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, the doctor was like, okay, for you to be treated in this hospital, you have to undergo the COVID test. So again, me being me, I told the doctor, listen, I think I know what my problem is. My problem comes from the stomach. And this is because I have ulcers, gastritis. That's probably why there's a burning sensation. So if you could just like treat me in those lines, imagine. So the doctor was like, okay. They prescribed medicine for me. And I was supposed to go back a week later, which I did. I think I went, yeah, after the medicine was done and there was no changes, called them back and I went to the hospital. This time I shut my mouth and I let the doctor do his job. In fact, this time I went to a specialist, not just a GP doctor, like not a general practitioner GP. Yeah? I went to ENT doctor who's like specializing in all that ear, throat, and nose. Yeah, nose and throat. So this doctor says we have to give you medicine and he didn't check anything at first. He was like, I think I know what you're suffering from, blah blah blah, I've experienced in this, I know that whatever you're saying to me, this is what you have. So he gave me some more medication. I came home, took the medication, and just a little bit, that thing kind of went down for 2-3 days, and then it came back again. Yeah, so I went back a few days ago, and the doctor said they're going to perform or do an endoscopy, and they wanted to also do a scan, a throat scan or neck scan, yeah. So I couldn't do it then directly because my company has to approve, and it's a process, like there has to be, like, the insurance has to approve, so many other things, so formalities and stuff. So I had to come back home and wait for them to give me a call, which they did yesterday, and asked me to go in today at 9:20 in the morning, early morning. So this morning I got up and I was on the way to the hospital. I mean, I literally took a taxi downstairs, but when I was in the taxi going to the hospital, I started thinking to myself, like, what if the doctor says I have a tumor in my throat? What if the doctor says I have cancer? What if the doctor says I have something like really bad? And then also I was also thinking at the same time, what's going to happen to my kids if I die? I mean, like, I had already, like, seen this happening. Okay, doctor's office, check me for whatever, they find some tumor, then I'm all like sickly and I die, and my kids. Then I was all thinking, like, okay, what's going to happen to my kids? I mean, I want them to go through school and complete their school, and I started crying, you guys. Those of you who know me and my kids, those of you who know me for a long time, know how much I value my daughters. And so imagining that this was going to affect the fact that I'm not going to be able to provide for them and everything, I was shook. I was like shaking. I was not doing well this morning. Crying, like tears, not like crying, no. I was crying, like tears were just like flowing. The taxi driver who took me to the hospital is someone who has, like, taken me to work before, so he knows me, and he said, is everything okay, madam? Because he could see me through the mirror. And I was like, yeah, everything is fine, I'm just going to the hospital. I was like, is everything all right? I mean, like, I think he was probably thinking I have some infection that would be bad for him as well. But I told him everything is fine, I'm good, I'm just going to the hospital for some medication and stuff. I didn't need to explain myself to him. So all this time I was in the car or the taxi, I was thinking, what if? Okay, I have been a smoker for the longest time I can imagine. Like, I started smoking long time ago. I mean, like, and that was one of the things that made me so scared. That was one of the things that made me go like, okay, there's always a warning on that packet that says smoking kills, smoking causes this, and I've always looked at that warning and gone like, okay, thank you. But today it got deep into my, like, I was thinking about it. Oh my God, what about if this is what's happening to me right now? I started freaking out. And so when I got to the hospital, they were all waiting for me. Those were, like, even the most scary part as well. They were waiting for me in terms of, like, when I got into the main door, the nurse picked me up there literally and said, okay, follow me. Okay, guys, did you find out something that I don't know? So she took me through to have my temperature taken, my weight, and blood pressure checked, and then straight away, without waiting for the result, you guys, for the whatever, for not for results but for everything to be compiled, the report for the doctor, she took me to the doctor's office and she was like, okay, sit here and just give us a moment. So anyway, Finally, the doctor calls me in. By this time, I'm shaking. I don't know if to call my friends or tell them I'm in the hospital. This is going on. It's just like, I know it's a mild test, but guys, the results were the ones that were going to be so scary. Anyway, so finally, I'm called in, like, to the doctors, and he's all dressed up. You know, these days they have to like wear full armor, the face is covered, the body is like, he has like this whole thingy on his body and everything. And so he calls me in and he's like, have a seat. So I have a seat and goes like, Esther, how many cigarettes do you smoke? Have you smoked today? And I was like, no, I haven't smoked today. And I quit smoking a few weeks ago, even though I have had a few sticks in between now and then. But I'm trying my best to actually completely quit, because, and that was like before the test, you know, like, so my heart was beating and racing, the anxiety in that room this morning. And then he went ahead to say, okay, so we're going to run this test, we're going to do the endoscopy through your nose. Wait, hold on, no way. So you're saying that it's not going to be through my mouth? I said, okay, doctor, dear doctor, I had prepared myself psychologically since yesterday to now for the endoscopy through the mouth. Now I need a moment to prepare myself again psychologically for you to go through my nose. So the doctor was like, okay, how much time do you need? I said, I need a moment. Like, I need to, seriously. He said, you can take a day. I said, no, not a day. I need to think about it because I'm scared of such things. So eventually, they did the thingy, the test. They put the thing, my dears, this thing is this long, and I'm not even playing right now. It's this long. It looks exactly like this. It's from here to here. It goes through here all the way down. It's like it was going through, it was like, you know, it was like, you know, it was like trying to fight, finding its way through my head and eventually down my throat. I could feel it go, and I couldn't help it. I mean, I wasn't, you know, doing anything. I still feel pain. I wasn't doing anything like, you know, tightening myself or just moving around to show that I'm in pain, the discomfort and everything. But my tears were flowing from here like that, you guys. They were flowing by themselves. They were flowing by themselves. And the doctor was like, okay, so just give us a few moments. Say ah, say ooh, say say ah, say things like that. All right, I had to do that because he had to like take videos and pictures of my throat. Eventually, he was done. So now again, the process of pulling it out. He pulled it out. It was done finally. Now, the good news is there's no tumor, there's no growth, there is nothing that is not reversible, whatever is there, because there is obviously something. He said that this place right here is messed up, my voice box is not okay, and so with medication and the proper diet, that's all going to be fixed. That's the good news. I'm yet to undergo another scan for my neck, or yeah, for the neck, just to determine there's like totally, absolutely nothing we left behind today. All right, so I'm done with smoking for now, like maybe for good, but I don't think I want to smoke after what I went through and the pain I've been having. And I'm also gonna urge you guys, like, if you have any slight pain, don't self-prescribe medicine. Just go to the hospital, and go to the hospitals and wait for tests. Follow the doctor's orders, because I have probably prolonged this whole thing by thinking that I can actually fix it myself, which obviously I couldn't. But I and the pain I've been going through could have ended earlier, and maybe this stage that we are at now wouldn't have become so bad. I mean, would have, cut it at a stage which was like the earlier stages, would have cut it at that point. So I've learned a lesson, obviously. So before I left, of course, I had to ask the doctor. I did ask the doctor. So obviously, you've told me not to smoke. So how about drinking? And the doctor was like, oh, okay, you can have beer and you can have wine, but you cannot have hard liquor and stuff like that. I mean, I had to ask, like, I don't want to come up here and everything goes back to normal, and then I start drinking my usual vodka, and then I go back to the hospital again. So, yay, good news. But hey, the process of actually getting this good news, oh my God, nobody wants to go through that. I do not even want to go back there ever again. If they have to check again for the same thing, I feel like I already know the path to my throat through my nose, and that I can do it by myself because I can still feel it. I think it almost came out through my eye at some point, like the thingy. Anyway, so guys, I will end it here for now, but that's it. Maybe I will have to pause the videos for a while, but if I can do something short, I will be sure to post it for you guys. In the meantime, let's give ourselves time to recover and everything. But you're right here in my heart always, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and for being here. Kindly leave me a comment and like this video, share it out for people to see as well. Thank you and goodbye.